Okay, we're here again at Romford Horror Festival. I'm delighted to talk to some filmmakers behind the Crucifix, Blood of the Exorcist. Is that right?
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
Right, bit of a tongue twister. If you'd like to just introduce yourself and your role within the film.
Hello, yes, I'm Stephen Roach. I'm the director, cinematographer and editor.
Hey, I'm Rob Howgate. I'm the producer and the writer.
I'm Alex Walton and I play Fergus.
I'm Darren Ferve and I play Torvald.
Great stuff. So this is kind of like an interesting mashup of genres, I thought. You've got obviously the exorcism, which, you know, is a well-trodden path, genre, but it mashes it up with Vikings, which is fun, because everyone loves a Viking. Where did that idea even come from to mash those two things together?
So the idea came from, firstly, thank you for everyone for coming and supporting the festival. Really appreciate that and supporting our indie film as well. The more the merrier, so thanks very much. The idea came from, it was, and Kev's heard this before, but it was an idea that's spread from really trying to do something different and a little bit more innovative. There's plenty of horror out there right now. There's good horror, there's bad horror. But there's a lot of horror out there, and it's we wanted to do something which wasn't the norm, and maybe did do something a little bit different. So it came from my co-producer David Marsh, and we kind of mashed together the ideas, and we talked, about whether we're gonna, I was saying, jump on the Poonaverse and do something similar to that, whether we were gonna do a reset of Peeping Tom or do, we went through a number of ideas, and then it popped up that Vikings and an exorcism. The exorcism really came from the fact that one of our major distributors out in LATAM America, 90% Catholic, exorcisms is what they want, and we asked them and they said, yeah, if you're going to make a film, make it clowns and exorcisms. So we didn't go down that route, but we wanted to mash something up, and Vikings and exorcisms ended up being it.
Clowns can be the sequel.
It could be.
Clown exorcism. I'd watch that. How did you get the cast on board? When did they join? And maybe they can answer that one. At what point do you come on board?
So I came on board with, basically I'd worked with Stephen before on two prior movies.
Okay.
And then it was a totally random call. Like Stephen just phoned me out of the blue. He said, "Oh yeah, we're making this movie. Obviously X amount of days, And he said, right. He said, I know, and obviously he knew that I've been moving from because I'm primarily a stunt performer and stunt coordinator.
Okay.
And he knew that I was kind of moving into more acting roles and more serious acting roles. So Stephen's kind of pitch to me was, we need someone who can act, we need someone who can fight, we need someone that can choreograph all of the fight scenes and action as well, and oversee all the safety.
Yeah.
And we've only got 2 days to do it in. So it was more a case, I think, that I got on board because Stephen and Rob both basically thought that I'm mad enough to take it on. So, I just jumped at it, and it's been an absolute blast.
How did you first get into the stunt business?
The stunts, well, I actually came into it quite late, but my background is, I've got a martial arts background. Okay. Obviously, I've trained and taught for over like 45 years. So okay. I kind of moved it. Essentially, I'm a fight choreographer. That's my main, anything with action, fighting, weapons, guns, you name it. But then obviously I coordinate, but that's a case of bringing in the talent that I need for the production. So.
Alex, when do you come on board, get the script? What do you think of it when you first see it? Kind of thing?
So it was relatively similar. So I'd worked with Stephen before and Darren, but also Belle, the makeup artist. We'd all worked on previous film as well. And then she sort of pitched it to me, and then said that Stephen was on board, and then Rob got in touch, and it was kind of when bringing the kind of band back together sort of things, and it just felt really nice. And then to work on something like this, I'm a bit of a I don't want to swear, but I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to... I can?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a bit of a pussy when it comes to horror.
Is that right?
So it's like... I mean, that's not really
Go
swearing.
again.
Don't go again.
Tits. Yeah, so I'm not great when it comes to horror, so it's not a
Right.
genre that I'd necessarily kind of
Okay.
worked in
Okay.
predominantly. And yeah, when sort of Stephen pitched the idea to me, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Would you make another horror film?
I reckon so. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the first time that I'd seen the film,
Right.
and it's always difficult. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but personally, I don't really like watching myself. And I constantly, whenever I see it, especially the first time, I'm like, oh, well, I've done that differently, or I've done that differently, or didn't, like, kind of feel this, blah, blah, blah. And I think horror as a genre, a lot of the performance comes from reacting to certain situations that you have to imagine that are there. It's like you sort of imagine the sounds coming, you imagine the knocks, things like that. And I think that's a learning curve for me as a performer as well, so it's like it was quite nice to kind of see how that transposed from the set to the screen. So yeah.
So you mentioned there that you don't like watching yourself back and stuff, but let's make a positive thing out of it. I want all of you to name one thing that you're really proud of that you were involved in the film, maybe a scene or just an aspect.
Oh, what, from this film?
Uh-huh.
God, I feel like I've just really shat on my own career. I really didn't mean for it to be pitched like that at that level at all. I really liked the intimacy between Mungo, myself, and Julie, who's fantastic, but also like the sentimentality that Hannah and I have as well is really nice. Like, we hadn't worked together before, but then as soon as we got on set, we kind of had a chemistry that was really nice, and Rob basically said, because you're an estranged couple and you've gone through this death of your son, we don't want you to be too familiar, so they kind of kept us at arm's length before the shooting started. So first time we met was actually on set, so it was like, hi, how you doing? I'm going to play your husband, you're going to play my wife. But it was quite nice to kind of have that connection, because it forged really, really quickly, and the whole team just it felt like the whole team just kind of gelled really quickly in such a remote place in the country. It was cool.
Darren, do you want to talk about was there a stunt or a thing like that was maybe a challenge for you, but you really think you...
Well, to be honest, I think it wasn't a challenge, because again, obviously, because of the constraints of time and budget, Rob pulled off a real coup by using the guys at Witchurst,
Right.
Which is like an Anglo-Saxon, obviously the Anglo-Saxon fort.
Oh, right.
So you've got these guys are reenactors. And these guys are, from a fight coordinator's perspective, it was fantastic, because these guys live it, and these guys will train and they fight with one another with swords, like two boxers will spar.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So from a sort of fight choreography perspective, it was great for me, because I kind of turned up and said, right guys, this is what I've kind of got prepared. What can you do? So they just went at it, and it was like, get a camera up and film that, because they really went for it. But I think the thing, because I was not going back on the acting side of it for me personally, because I'd worked with Alex before, but I'd only kind of choreographed.
Right.
So it was great for me. It was a kind of a challenge, because I had to act as well as fight.
Right.
And to be honest, Alex, you'd had a crash course, hadn't you, from the guys at Witchurst in basically how to fight. And the irony was, I had a rubber axe, but he had a real sword.
Oh. So it was dangerous way around.
Really. So it was kind of a case of, so it was funny, because it was a kind of a two-way street, because I was kind of really nervous, because I'm trying to put in a real good acting performance, and Alex was basically giving me all the vibes to bounce off. But then obviously, and he was kind of doing the same with the fighting, and I was like, no, you just go for it. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to kill me. Right. Trust me, when someone's swinging a real piece of steel at you, and you've got a shield, you put your guard up.
Yeah.
So it was kind of challenging, I think, for both of us. But that was just my perspective. I'd love doing that, and it was just fantastic to work with Alex again. And I think we really nailed it. I'm really pleased with it. You have anything you want to add to that?
No, I agree. I agree 100%. It was just like, Darren's a big guy, and even though he's coming at you with a rubber axe, it's still, you still shit yourself a little bit. So that was genuine fear. But also that sword is super heavy as well. So when you are trying to swing it, and also, you know, you've kind of just had your shoulder cut as well, so you're sort of trying to do that, but also it's quite a beast to hit, and you do kind of you're quite tentative with it, because, you know, as much as I know you can handle yourself when it comes to weapons, but it's also like, if anything goes wrong in this, then you know, you can cause some serious damage. But I just, you know, I hope you trusted me, and I trusted you implicitly. So it just felt like we could.
I think it's the case because we knew one another. We trusted one another because we worked together.
Yeah.
And once we kind of allayed one another's fears, obviously, Alex was kind of putting my mind to rest about the axing. Yeah, relax and just bounce off of me. And I'm saying, yeah, just try and kill me.
And I did. Try to.
Yeah, Rob, what's something you're proud of? The definition.
I think everything. I suppose as someone who's in it from the get-go, from the initial ideation and the story to getting the team together. I mean, we shot it in 12 days, and I don't think you can ever take away what a miracle that is, really. To you know, all films that will be showed here over the next 4 days will have some stories about, you know, how difficult it is, but how much fun it is as well. So I think for me to put together such a great team, to have, you know, an idea that was very different and to pull it off, and I think also really to take our time with the film as well. I mean, it's we approached it in a way which it would be about the characters, and it would, you know, you get to know them. We're not throwing a lot at you on screen, so I think to have the ambition and the balls maybe to do something a little bit slower, and just to let everyone hang in there and get to know the characters and the story. But everybody, I mean, and without taking over the mic, but we've got Bella Lata here on makeup. Woo! So we've got Daniel Garavini as well, who's fantastic composer, and other members of the team. We got Terry, who is on sound. So, you know, it has to be a big team. So I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of the effort. I'm proud of, you know, where we've taken that for 12. You know, it was based in Scotland, shot in Wales, because Wales is a cheaper, closer version of the Scottish Highlands. So we shot it there. But yeah, just forming this team together and putting the band together and just really going to it. And it's done well on a theatrical release in LATAM as well. So it's yeah, I'm proud of everything. I suppose yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I would say. It's as well, all of the little intricate details that we did through the film. You know, all of the kind of you know, stylized shots, innovative shots, the amazing makeup, the composing, the sound effects, everything that we did to really kind of elevate it. And in a sense, you know, make it seem much more higher budget than what it really you know, cost. And again, yeah, just you know, what was really great as well was just working with a fantastic crew and a fantastic cast. And you know, from day one, you know, everybody on set knew that we were creating something really special, and so everybody really put in the extra effort and went the extra mile, and you know, many people were wearing many different hats as well, so it was truly fantastic. Yeah.
You had about 14 credits up there.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Wrote the theme tune, sung the theme tune. Is there any audience questions at this point? Oh yeah, go on, Kevin.
So you're making a movie on a low budget, obviously. How exactly in an exorcism movie, without spoiling the magic too much, do you make someone levitate?
A lot of seance. You get a Ouija board out.
That was 11 days of the production.
Yeah.
Please rise.
No, that was something which worked out really well. There was a lot of discussion. A lot of the crew gave their input. The first AD, the gaffer, Rob, you know, VFX. Everybody gave their input, and just literally it worked, and it worked really well. So I won't spoil it though.
Movie magic.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Anyone else? Your hand up.
Yeah, I've got one.
Oh yeah, go on.
Steve, I think you've done a fantastic job everywhere, actually. This is such a great film.
Thank you.
If you used to double the budget, what would you do differently?
It would probably. in terms of how we shot it, I don't think it would change. We would just add more scale to it. So we'd probably just increase the scale of the Viking openings, possibly increase the scale of Hannah Possessed and more scenes dealing with that. Maybe a couple of deaths, but yeah, in terms of the style, I wouldn't really change it that much.
Do it in Scotland.
Yeah.
Could do it in Scotland. Be more authentic.
Yeah.
I think it's time. I think budget buys time, really. And you'll hear me say a few times, but yeah, we shot it in 12 days. It'd be nice to shoot it in 13, 14, 20, 25. Just to give us more time and just more allow the scenes to kind of marinate a little bit more. But yeah, I think as Stephen said, really, I think we worked with they're a great team in Kent, our Vikings. But yeah, there was 10 of them, so we probably want 30 or 40. I think if we had a bit more budget, and just give Bella a little bit more to spend on the effects as well. Although she did a superb job, but yeah. Have you got that budget? Have you? Is that Please see you at the bar.
Anyone else? Yeah.
Who found the locations? Who found the house? Who found that tree that became a character almost? Who found the places where you filmed?
Yeah, that was my 13th credit, I suppose. Location manager.
Yeah.
So it was one of the most fun things. I love location hunting. I love finding it, and a lot of it is luck. A lot of it's research and googling and all that type of thing. But a lot of it's luck. But the main house there was absolutely gorgeous on the top of the hill. That was and it's kind of a staple now of low budget horror. That's an Airbnb. So the Airbnb horror genre has kind of been coined. But yeah, that was just gorgeous. And you got sweet talk, obviously the owners to let us do that, and he still hasn't found out, so that's a benefit. But yeah, that was in Wales, in Fishguard. The tree that was me and Stephen went up for a lovely weekend just prior as a recce. Had the worst kebab ever.
Disgusting, absolutely disgusting.
So yeah, don't go to Fishguard for kebabs. But yeah, no, we did a real good recce around it, and the tree was. We needed to find the tree because the tree was vital and important. But elsewhere, yeah, the Viking Centre again that just came from doing some research. And that type of thing, but it's key because I mean the cinematography I just think is absolutely gorgeous. And Stephen done such a wonderful job, but he had great locations to play with, but particularly in Fishguard, that old cottage on the hill. So yeah, it was one of my proudest moments. I think the locations.
Any more out there? Oh yeah. Go on.
Was there a scene that was left on the cutting room floor, which was hard to get rid of? Anything that you kind of wished was in the film?
That's a good question.
But whatever
Write that down for another day.
Yeah, not so much from the film itself, but from the script, really, wasn't it, to make it work?
Yeah. Okay, I think so. I think again, as it's low budget, we shot it in 12 days. There's not much you can leave on the edit floor. I think what we did, we were absolutely brutal with the script, and I wrote the script obviously, and I was in tears in the scheduling process. Shout out to Top, our AD, who is brutal. And yeah, we had to really filter down some lovely scenes, but not as important to make the story work. So there wasn't much left on the edit floor because we didn't have it. But yeah, there was probably, and we all we know our films here. I mean, it's a page a minute. We probably lost about 10 pages. It was a 90-page script, and we took it down to 79, 80. So there's a lot of, and we talked about that for our next project actually. Stephen said, don't let Top have a look at the script before you schedule it, because he took away some nice scenes, but yeah, nothing was left on the edit floor really.
Yeah.
It was all gone in the script process.
Final question from me. Do you want to start this end? He's got the mic. What's your next project? Touch on it there. What are you working on?
So my next project is with Rob, and it's another horror film. And this one is completely different. It's going to be much more brutal, much more violent. Still very artistic, still very beautiful, but super violent. You know, loads of kills, loads of deaths.
Lovely.
Amazing.
So surprisingly, my next project it was Stephen. So if you recorded that, then just rewind it. But yeah, I think the reason being for the Crucifix, it was a slow burn of a horror. So we want to do something at the opposite end of that scale. So it's going to be, you know, if you're 14, 15 in the cinema, you know, we want to keep you watching the screen. So it's going to be inspired a little bit by Inner Violent Nature. If you've watched that movie, obviously Terrifier. We just want to do, and that's where Bella's going to come in. We're going to go a lot more gory, a lot more bloody, a lot faster pace, and put some characters in there which are going to relate a little bit more to a younger audience. So it's going to be fun, and it's going to be about rats as well. So it's a rat horror. Yeah.
Nice. I've got in April, I've got an adaptation of Macbeth, which is going on German Street Theatre, which is just off West End.
Very cool.
And then after that, there's a feature called Concubinary, which is in progress at the moment. So that would hopefully start shooting in the next couple of months.
Nice.
Very cool. Well done.
And yes, I'm back with Rob and Stephen, obviously with the rats.
Well, hold on, I'm feeling like...
Yeah, that was a bad question.
A little bit pointed.
It was cut out on page
It was the accent, wasn't it?
Awkward.
Yeah, so that's back with Stephen and Rob. And then I've got 2 movies that we've just got a few more scenes to shoot for Shogun films. So that's Dr. Plague and Nightfall, and then plus whatever else gets thrown at me for the rest of the year.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you all for joining us and submitting your film and coming here to represent it.
Thank you.
Great film. Can we all give a round of applause, please, for our film actors?